today's video, I'm going to talk through the top 5 fastest RC monster trucks under $600. Did think about doing it for ones under $500, but all what I would call the good stuff is in that $500 to $600 price point, as you will see very shortly. Now, pretty much every one of these RC monster trucks I've either owned or driven quite extensively, so I'd like to think I know what I'm talking about when it comes to these trucks. Some of them are pretty darn similar in speed to each other, but I have ranked them 1 to 5 in speed order, and that is because some of them, while having the same speed as each other, handle much better at speed than the next truck down in the pecking order. Hope that makes sense. It will hopefully make more sense as I go through the cars in order. Now, in the main, it's pretty much a two-way shootout between Arrma and Traxxas at this price point. They're the dominant players in this marketplace. This video, you may think, Richie, you've left this out, you've left that out, you've left the Arrma Talion out. The Arrma Talion, very fast, 70 miles an hour, but it's classed as a truggy. This video is purely about the top 5 fastest RC monster trucks, as opposed to RC cars or in any other category whatsoever. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, as ever, if you like this stuff, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. But let's start with car number 1, which is
the Traxxas Stampede 4x4 VXL. Got a lot going for it, 60 plus miles an hour speed, but just on 3S, which is not too bad at all. Now, one thing I had not spotted until today is it now comes with the self-righting mechanism. Now, you either love it or hate it on that. I know people have got their own opinions on that, but I'm quite a big fan of it. Anybody doubting its pedigree? Truck of the Year awarded that by RC Car Action magazine, and that is voted for by the readers and viewers of that magazine, so it's got a lot going for it. There are numerous videos on it on the Traxxas website. However, they've also got a great gallery of close-ups of the car which you can dig down into on the Traxxas website at your leisure. In terms of upgrades, not only do Traxxas supply a whole series of upgrades which you can purchase for it, but also the aftermarket is absolutely rife with parts for this. Very easy to work on, very, very quick indeed, and very hard to beat at that price point, except $399. You can get it from A-Main, which I'll put a link to below the video, for as low as $379.95 on there. A lot more details as well on the A-Main site, and a whole series of videos for you to go and watch on the Traxxas website as well. So let's move straight on to monster truck number 2. Now, next up we have another one from Traxxas, but don't worry Arrma fans, I've got you covered in just a couple of minutes, as these cars are put in speed order. So what monster truck do we have? And number 2, well, we have the Traxxas Maxx, yours for $549, 60 miles an hour plus car. Now, you may be wondering, Richie, you've just shown me a Stampede VXL does 60 miles an hour. Yes, but when you look at the specs of the Traxxas Maxx in terms of width and wheelbase, it is both wider and longer than the Stampede 4x4 VXL, which means you're going to be able to put that power down faster. It's going to be more stable at 60 miles an hour plus than the Stampede VXL is. That is why I edged this one out. So even though in theory they're around about the same top speed, my opinion is this will put the power down better. Hope that makes sense. Traxxas have got a great website on here, much the same as Arrma do on their cars, which we'll be on to in just a second. Some great videos for you to watch on here, and some great little touches on the website like this, showing you all the breakdowns of the car. And if you click on any of these hotspots, it pulls up a description telling you what they are. Now, some might argue that price of $549 is a little bit high for what you get. I'm kind of sat on the fence on that one. However, whilst it's $549 on the Traxxas website, it's $529.95 on the A-Main website. So I'll put a link to that below the video, and there's also a lot more detail and a lot more close-ups on the A-Main website, along with a couple of great videos. And I would just say with both of these trucks so far, there's an extensive aftermarket support in terms of extra bolt-on goodies for you. So what have we got at number 3, my Arrma fans? And number 3, we have the Outcast 6S and the Notorious 6S BLX from Arrma. I kind of put them both together because they're both at the same price point of $549, and they are the same car underneath the skin. So the Outcast is exactly the same under the skin as the Notorious. Same chassis, same suspension, same motor on there. My personal favourite though is the all grey Outcast, because that I had one of the very first Outcasts in the USA, and I absolutely loved it and still do to this day. That's 60 mile an hour speed. I'll come on to that in a second, as I did say these were in speed order. Now, I'll dive straight into the Gigasite as it's got a lot more information on it. Arguably, you're getting a lot more car for your money with the 6S Arrmas than you are with the Traxxas Maxx. Even though they're the same price point, with this, you are getting an all-metal chassis. He says, and then the first picture I look at doesn't show it clearly. It's actually an all-metal chassis plate on here. Not only that, the whole of the drivetrain, all the diffs, everything on here is 100% metal, which gives it a big advantage over some of the other cars. You also see your metal shock tower braces on here, metal shocks, etc., etc., and that nice new bracing rail on the new model. There is an extensive collection of videos of the thing at play, which I'll leave you to go through in your own time. Now, there is so much detail on the Arrma Gigasite, I'll leave you to go through it in your own time, and you will be able to see the differences compared to the Traxxas Maxx. You know, a lot of people would argue this is in a different class to it. I do think it has the edge considerably on the Maxx, given the fact that they're both the same price point, and as I say, with this you're getting that all-metal chassis and all-metal drivetrain on the car. Now, well, it's $549 on the Arrma site. A-Main also sell it at $549. You may be lucky and score a coupon that you can use on the A-Main site. And arguably at the minute, A-Main could well be your fastest place in terms of delivery to get one from. And there's extensive details on the A-Main site about it, including another couple of videos, etc., etc. It doesn't come with batteries or a charger, so you will need to budget for that, but then neither does the Traxxas Maxx. Now, why did I rate this above the Maxx, even though this says 60 mile an hour top speed as well? Well, the simple answer is this can go quite a bit faster out of the box. Well, why did I rate the Arrma Outcast stroke Notorious above the Traxxas Maxx? Well, in testing, I found, well, the Maxx will be nudging on about 60 miles an hour, maybe just under that. The Arrma Outcast, I managed to push up to 65 miles an hour with the optional speed gearing on. So from personal experience, I know that the thing will hit 65 miles an hour, which just edges it into position number 3 of the Maxx. Anyway, what have we got at number 4, Arrma fans? Just remember, guys, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe. Well, at number 4, in terms of the fastest RC monster trucks under $600, we have the Arrma Kraton 6S BLX, yours for $549. So let's take a quick look and I'll explain my thinking and rationale on this one. Yeah, Rich, you've just shown us a Notorious and our Outcast will do 60 miles an hour plus. Do you claim will do 65? Yeah, well, the Kraton will do 65. But because it sits that little bit lower, a little bit wider on there, it will handle far better at that 65 miles an hour top speed than the Outcast does. So I hope that makes sense as to why it's in that order. So yeah, they're both going to do kind of around the same speed, but this is going to handle that speed better. You're going to be able to put it down. This thing is not going to be wanting to be endlessly wheeling as the Outcast will do. And if you take a quick look at the Gigasite, they've got some absolutely awesome videos on here, but again, you can see everything all metal throughout the construction of the car, including a nice new tower-to-tower brace which is fitted to all of the new V4 Arrmas, adding a great deal of strength to the car indeed. And you can get it in both blue and red, and if you wouldn't want it in either the red or the blue, the fastest way to get one at the minute is probably not via Arrma but via A-Main Hobbies. I'll put a link to them below the video. Well, the long and the short of it is, I feel the Kraton 6S BLX deserves its position at number 4 on the list of the fastest RC monster trucks under $600, primarily because of its stance. Yeah, it will do the 65 miles an hour that the Outcast does, and you might be thinking, well, this is the same speed, Rich. The stance of the car, being the width and the wheelbase, enable you to put down that power so much more easily, which means you're going to be able to drive it harder, you're going to be able to drive it longer under flat out conditions than the Outcast, and it will be more stable in high speed turns than either the Outcast or the Notorious. So I hope that makes sense as to why that is number 4 above the Outcast and the Notorious. Well, let's move straight on to number 5. In the top 5 fastest RC monster trucks under $600, which is it is the Traxxas E-Revo VXL, and it is position number 5 because it does have a 70 mile an hour top speed right at the top end price wise, $599.99. But I'll put a link to the A-Main website where it's a little bit cheaper. But let's dig down into the details and see just what you get for your money. Okay, now as before, there's a huge amount of videos on the Traxxas website on here. The handling on this thing, I have owned one of these. It's virtually as wide as it is long, which means it's absolutely outstanding in terms of cornering at speed, and certainly that 70 mph capability has to be seen to be believed. That the way this thing can put a power down is absolutely outstanding. Yet it will still like wheelie on demand if you want, but if you want a monster truck to drive at stupid fast speeds, then this is definitely the one for you. As I say, there's a whole load of videos on it, and again, this comes with a self-righting mechanism, 6S power, so this is where it is going head-to-head with the Arrmas on here. Pretty much an all-metal drivetrain on here, with the exception of the centered drive shafts, which are plastic, quite bizarrely. And the E-Revo VXL also has that self-righting mechanism built in, and it snaps upright in a blink of an eye on this car. And it is available in a variety of colours, all of which A-Main sell. As I say, there's a variety of, there's a great selection of videos on here and on the A-Main website as well, which I'll leave you to look through in your own time. And you will see here we've got that famous inboard suspension, which was the cause of all the problems between Traxxas and Arrma. It is great because with the shocks lying horizontally as opposed to vertically on the shock tower at the front there, the car can sit much lower. It's got a lower centre of gravity on there, and I would just point out that all Formula 1 cars also have the same shock setup inboard like that on there. Once again, they have this great slider thing which you can drag across. You can see all the drivetrain. These little highlights on here, when you click on there, it shows you underneath the GTR shocks. So you click on that one, again, heavy duty suspension arms, the servo. Very, very neat feature indeed, that on the website. And they've got a great selection of close-up pictures on there with all the dimensions of the car at the end as well. But you cannot get away from that 70 mph top speed, and that is why, if you have got $579.95 as opposed to $599 on the Traxxas website, I would recommend buying it from A-Main, who do it in the blue and the purple colour as well. There's also one they do in the red and orange, which yours truly owned, which looks absolutely phenomenal to my mind, arguably better than these two colours on there. Loads of detail on the A-Main website, again with a couple of videos on there, but everything you could possibly wish for. So if you want the fastest RC monster truck under $600, then the Traxxas E-Revo VXL could well be the one for you. Thanks for watching. Hope you found this informative. Well, thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Post any comments you might have in the comment section below the video, and hit the circle below to subscribe. And if you do hit the circle, don't forget to hit the bell.